Okay, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Jimmy's First Gen Mini Rescue. I'm Jimmy, and I like to keep do the maintenance on all of our minis. We had bought one new, and three others I bought from auction. I got caught up, and I buy them with mechanical issues, and I enjoy working on them and fixing them. That's where I'm at right now. I'm removing the engine and transmission from a parts car. That's the video you're going to see. It's going to take place over a few days, so it may not seem so coherent. However, full disclosure. Well, one, I've been working on the car already today. It was supposed to rain. It didn't, so I got out there and did a few things. Two, I've had this parts car, for quite a while, almost a year. It was supposed to be gone in 6 months, but don't tell Sharon. She won't know. Anyway, so I have been taking parts off the car, little by little. So for someone who's doing this to their driver, their daily driver, there's a lot of things you're not going to see. Front end service, I get the bumpers and the sub bumper off and all of the trash tubes and all that stuff. The inner fender wells are gone. There's a whole lot of things that are gone. The supercharger, all the intake is sitting right here in this storeroom with me here. So I have spare supercharger, the alternator, the air conditioner condenser, presser, pump, whatever it is. I got all of those parts already in here. A lot of the things on the car are not gonna stay with the car. They give junk. Anyway, some of the things I do, I cut hoses instead of removing them because I'm not going to reuse them. So for somebody who's trying to be delicate and you're going to reuse your hoses for your oil cooler hoses or your heater core hoses, I just cut those. So you'll see that in the video. Before I get too far ahead of myself, let me read today's fortune for this series here, this video. It's going to only seem for one video for you, but it's going to take me a few days, maybe 2 to 3 days, to get this engine out on the ground. I'm not going to separate maybe I will separate the engine from the transmission and remove the clutch and bring all the old stuff in the storeroom here. Anyway, let's see. Let's see here. Okay, we got that part. It says, I had to find out what I read last and where I'm at now. It says, it says, if you have a job without aggravations, you don't have a job. I don't know if I agree with that one, but, if you have a job without aggravations, you don't have a job. Anyway, so that's your fortune for today. Here's a book. Fortune Cookie Wisdom, Words to Live By. And when you look inside, all the fortunes, they look a little different. And so that's what the book looks like on the inside. It's available on Amazon, along with my Set Sail Caribbean book, 5 months. 5 months on a 47-foot sailboat. That was a story that me and a friend of mine, it was his boat, but we kept ours at the same marina. And after pestering and whatever, we finally decided to go on one last sailing trip to the Caribbean because he was 77 years old at the time. And so the two of us, and then he had a grandson that came that was 20, who had not seen or been on the boat since he was 10. So he had no sailing experience at all. But anyway, this is a story of that 5-month journey. We went from Virginia all the way down to Grenada. That's how they pronounce it locally, Grenada, like hand grenade. And then we island hopped all the way down and all the way up. We had people fly down to some different islands and spend time on the boat. And then they fly out, and then another group would fly in, or another person like Sharon flew in. We went to a few islands, and then she flew back home, so forth. Anyway, a lot of things happened on that trip. It was a I would do it again in a heartbeat. It was an epic journey. Anyway, this is the story of that trip. And we won't talk about any other boat trips coming up or in the works, so to speak. But there may be one big one, maybe. Stay tuned. Anyway, I'm gonna stop this and go out here and finish doing some more work before it gets too dark. But full disclosure, like I said, I've already started a lot of this stuff, so it's not a step-by-step how to do it. It's just from where I'm at, how do I get this engine out? And I think I want to take also the, what do you call it? The pump for the convertible top. The hydraulic pump for the convertible top. I want to get that out, take that. After that, this car can go away, and I'm sure Sharon will be very happy about that. So hopefully I'll get all of that done tomorrow. So I'm gonna do some preparations for that. And thank you guys for staying along. And also, real quick, I know I'm rambling. What I'm doing here too, with this car, with this parts car, is gonna help me to figure out steps that I have to do in order to remove the transmission and replace it, replace the Vallejo clutch kit into the blue car that some of you seen had a ride on the tow truck. Anyway, so I got the clutch kit here, and it's all ready to go. I got a engine hoist here, hoist here, and a little bracket here, because I don't think I'm going to remove the entire engine out of the blue car, just the transmission. So wish me luck on all of that. Anyway, let me go get this done. Okay, I can't really say this is day 1 or day 5 of starting to remove the engine out of this car, because I've been taking parts out of this car for the year that I've had it. I cut the exhaust off. I got all of the front supercharger. Here, let me flip this around and show you. Okay, here I'm showing you, I just been taking parts off of this car forever. So really, it's hard for me to tell you what you've missed and what I've done and what I haven't done. However, you know, it is what it is. It's unfair to you guys that are going to be removing the engine from your car and maybe putting a rebuilt engine in or something else of that nature, because this is a parts car. And like I said, I've been grabbing parts off of here for almost a year now, which was only supposed to be 6 months, but don't tell my wife. Anyway, she knows. But yeah, so all of the front stuff, this was a supercharger. All the intake is gone. Of course, the front end service is done. So all of that stuff you've got to do. And there's videos out there on how to do front end service mode. However, some of the things I still have to do, I got to remove the axles here because I want to get the engine and transmission out. Now, I've already loosened up the ball joint here. It's loose. The tie rod end is loose back there. So this is flippity floppity here. All I got to do on one side is pull it out. It just pulls out. Hey, Martha. The other side, I have a bracket that has to be removed. So I'm going to crawl under there and do that now. There's no exhaust on this car because I cut it off. My neighbor's dog, Max. Anyway, so I'm going to get to that, and I'll get back with you guys. Okay, as I was saying, it's not really fair to you guys that I'm disassembling this car the way I am. However, I took the axles out. Now, if you need to watch a video on how to do that, here's the passenger side axle. It has the carrier bearing, and it just slides into the transmission. There's no circlip on the back end, on the transmission end. So once you get the 3 bolts out of the carrier bearing, which This one, only 2 bolts were in place. And you get it loose from the hub, it'll just slide out. I drained the underneath, I drained the transmission and I drained the engine oil because I needed to do that. And then this side, the axle on the back end, it has a circlip. Let's see if we can get it here. But there's a circlip on this end that locks into the transmission. And all you got to do is take a, let's look inside there. All you got to do is take a pry bar and pry. Let me get my finger in there, right around here, and you just pry it loose, like with a quick prying motion, and it'll pop out of place, and then it just slides out. So I've done that. In the past, I've taken off everything I possibly could. The power steering is staying with the car, with the A-frame, with the subframe. It's staying with the car. The power steering pump is not even in place. That's actually on the orange car. Some of these wires are staying with the car. This is the wiring harness for the fuel injectors and everything. This stays with the engine. Some of the wiring is staying with the car itself. A lot of these hoses, the oil cooler hose and the heater core hose, I just cut them. They're not going to be reused. So for those of you who are doing this and you want to keep these things, you got to be more careful on how you take them apart. But for me, I just cut them. I ended up putting, like last time, this stays with the car here too. I put these, I guess the things on there so that when I use the lift, I can connect on here and lift it up. I've got all of my bolts loose here. This is for the transmission mount. I'm gonna just take the whole thing out, transmission mount and engine mount, if it'll come out. So my plan is to lift it as high as I can, kind of twist it a little bit and get it out. Yeah, so like I said, it's a little bit of a disadvantage for those of you who want to do this to your car for whatever reason, because there's so many things that need to be replaced and reused. However, on this car, I don't really care about those things. Anyway, as you can see, I got my black mat under here because I've been laying on the ground. Now, you see it's regular ground and mixed gravel here. What I'm going to do is remove this rubber mat, put it to the side, and I've got a, I guess it's a 3/4 inch plywood that I'm going to put down and use that underneath my my engine hoist. But that's not going to be till tomorrow because it's getting late in the afternoon. I didn't start this until late. We were supposed to have rain off and on all day, so I really wasn't planning on doing anything. But I'm glad I came out and disconnected the things I did so that I would have access. And tomorrow, it's just a matter of plywood and engine hoist and see if we can get it out and get it on the ground. All right, that's it until tomorrow. All right, y'all have a good one. Oh, and somebody wanted this hood. He lives in West Virginia. A guy that I met at a Waffle House, believe it or not. I told him I had it. I told him I'll get it disconnected, and the hood here, I'll get it disconnected and I'll take it to him. The next time I'm going up to toward West Virginia, and I'll probably just drive the van, stick it in the back of the van. Anyway. Yeah, so any other parts, if anybody sees something that you need and want close to Central Virginia, you can come and get it because, like I've been promising my wife, this car's got to go. So, all right, y'all have a good one. Okay, I'm back. It's another day. The only thing you missed is that I got some tools out and I put my plywood down. Again, it's just dirt and rocks. So with the engine hoist and the wheels, I'm hoping the plywood will help me maneuver it a little bit. I hope you can hear me. It's a little bit windy. But anyway, I'm gonna go get the engine hoist and get it set up, and then I'm gonna get back with you guys. Again, I gotta apologize for the wind. I don't know if this little microphone is working, but I put one leg down, I put the other leg down. I thought I was recording on the first leg, but I wasn't. Okay, you saw the these little D-rings on the engine that I had bought. See if I can get this off of here. I also purchased these. How many thousand pounds? I don't know. I can't see. They're heavy duty. I think they're like 12,000 pounds each. Oh no, 5,600 pounds each. So I got two of these with locks to clip into the clip. I got another chain too. Let's see how we can do this. First thing, I just want to take the slack off the engine mounts and see how it's laying, I guess. And then I'll take the bolts out of the transmission side. I already took the nut off of the engine side. This is the engine mount here. So that should pop up. I don't want to damage this hood because I promised it to a guy in West Virginia. So let's do this nice and slow. I think I got to take off this bracket, transmission mount bracket. It usually leaks around this O-ring as well on the dipstick tube. The pulley tensioner, I should have removed it. I'm going to see if I can snake this out without it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the engine and transmission are free from the car. Okay, just so you know, the engine and transmission are free from the car. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is sit it down on the plywood for now, and I'm gonna pick it up later. I got a cart that I'm gonna put it on, but I want to separate the transmission from the engine, and I'm just gonna set the engine on the cart, and I'll set the transmission inside the storeroom because I don't want anything to happen to that, because that's something I need. So I'm gonna turn this and set it down. All right, she's out. Let's just bring you guys in. Okay. As you can see, the engine is no longer attached to the vehicle. Sharon will be ecstatic because now all I have to store is this engine, and this transmission goes in my orange car eventually. However, I'm going to separate these. I can store the engine on the cart once I get the cart situated. And the only other thing I'm going to take from this car is I'm going to see how hard it is to get the convertible top actuator, the hydraulic pump that's in the back on the driver's side in the rear hatch there. I'm going to look up a couple of videos, and then I'm going to attempt to take that off. If it's too hard, then I'm going to check the price of a used one. I don't need one, knock on wood here. However, I want to make sure that if I do need one in the future, I can get one at a reasonable price rather than whatever it takes to get to the one in the back. But that's for another time. But yeah, the engine is out and she's on the ground. And the transmission bolts here, I believe they're 16 millimeter. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's like 10 or 12 that have to be removed. This up here is just the mount, transmission mount. I will either remove it and use the original one in the orange car. However, yeah, that gives me some ideas on what I got to get and what I got to do. All right, we'll close this out. Okay, I'm not sure how much you guys are going to be able to capture. However, the only thing I'm going to do next is unbolt the transmission from the engine, and well, see if I can anyway. And then, and that's it. That's all I really needed to do with this car until it's time to work on the orange convertible. So I thought I had removed the starter from this car. Apparently I didn't. So I have a starter here, which I may need on the orange as well. I guess I only got the electric steering off of here. However, here's a starter. That's a good salvageable part. Clean it up. I have to look at the bottom, see if there's any. But I got 2 hard ones. I think I need a 15 swivel. Let's go get that. Here's the other. I have to pick it up again to see what's underneath. I think I got all the ones up top that I can see. Oh, I see him. I see one more. Is it a 15 as well? What I'll do is put one of these easy ones back in on each side. There's some dowel pins that locate the transmission. Alright. The transmission and the engine are uncoupled. That's all I needed to do for this. Okay. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of my run-ins-ons. The only thing I had to do to the parts car was get the engine and transmission out. I do need to use this transmission, so I got to take care of it. However, I am not going to reuse this clutch, but I am going to disassemble it at a later date. Take the clutch, pressure plate, flywheel off. I'm going to check out the condition because, again, I bought this car at an auction. I don't know if the person, okay, I do know, because this person had the 17% pulley on his car. He's got the brace, the strut braces up top. All of the bottom had the what is it, M7 strut or underbody unibody brace. I'm pretty much willing to think that, and it was a JCW factory or a dealership upgrade engine. Supposedly, I had the JCW intake and all of that in here. So supposedly that's what it was, done at the dealership. Anyway, I'm willing to bet that this guy's probably stood on this car a little bit. So, but the flywheel is the thing that's expensive. So when I disassemble it, I'll check it out. I'll take it to, I got a transmission guy. Excuse me. I'll take it to them and have them look at it and tell me, is this thing, and even I know a guy at MINI, the dealership in Richmond. I can say, hey, is this thing good? Is this worth keeping? And if it is, I'm going to keep it. Because you just never know. These are the dual mass type of setup. Anyway, this is the baby I needed. That's a bonus. I may buy an engine stand, don't tell Sharon, and just tear down this engine and rebuild it. It was running when I parked this car here. I drove it around the block a few times just to see what it would do. Let it sit running for like 3 hours. It didn't overheat, it didn't do anything. It's just that it was smashed in the back and wasn't worth fixing or repairing. However, engine-wise, yeah, good engine, seemed to be good. It was strong when I drove it. Transmission seemed to be good, it was strong. Like I said, I don't know what else to do with this thing. I'm gonna wrap up this engine in plastic, and I got a place to put it. Eventually it's going inside the storeroom in a back corner. This one's gonna be in a front corner because I'm gonna use this later on this summer. Yeah, so that's it. I don't know what else to say except I'm sorry I couldn't get more detailed, intimate as to take this off, take this off, take this off, because like I said, this car, I've had it over a year, or just about a year, and I've been taking parts off as needed, giving parts away to other people that needed them. I gave a couple of body panels to somebody who had the same exact color car, and they needed a couple of the body panels that I gave them, along with the gas lid cover, and I just gave it to them. I didn't need it. I wasn't going to use it. Anyway, all right, like I said, I promised the hood to somebody, so I'm going to get that ready to take off, but I'm not going to take it off right now. And I'm going to clean this mess up and put this away and call it a day for out here. And yeah, that's it. So I want to thank y'all for putting up with the delays on this, as well as the delays on the clutch of the light blue and white hardtop, the 03. I guess some of that was hesitation. I really didn't want to do it, but I want to do it. You know, you might know what I'm talking about. It's a project you want to tackle yourself, but you got a little bit of uncertainty, you know. So anyway, all right, I'm calling this a day. Cleaning up my mess. Notice my neighbor's dogs, they don't bark when nobody else is out here but me. Now, if Sharon was to come out, they'll start barking. Or if one of them come home, they'd start barking. I don't understand. And they're both right there. Anyway, all right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. And for those of you who don't have broken down minis, have fun driving them. Okay, just wanted to do an addendum. That's the transmission sitting there. It's like face down. But it's out. It's sitting in the storeroom. See a couple of stickers there. Out motoring on my toolbox. I went to Matt's Off-Road out in Utah. Anyway, so there's the transmission, and turn around here on my, oh, it's like a crate motor. Well, it's not a crate, but anyway, this is the engine sitting on my cart here. I've got the no flat tires to run, so yeah, anyway, that's it. I just wanted to let everyone know it's out. Or as let's go to the parts car real quick. Show you, you know, like I said, my setup. I'm in the dirt, I'm in the rocks. I use plywood here, and like Mr. Ed always says, after he removes some bees, it ain't there no more. Anyway, that was just an addendum.